Please help me in welcoming Dr. Hamel.
I would like to tell you some things about the P3s. Basically, on my point of view, going to P3s is taking much more risk than what may be talking about. I have been working for Federation of Canadian Municipalities. That was the first project that had P3 in the title. But in fact, I've been working on those things for 25 years. What you're looking at now, tonight, is very important. With the P3, there is a greater involvement of the private partner, of the private enterprise in financing, and also something really important, it is much longer contract that we are used to deal with. If you look at the very specific P3 blend, it's very difficult to assess if it makes sense. You can have on the site of the coalition this attempt to, and it's one of it is a good example of how far you can go. But if you read it, as it is said in this paper, you cannot know for sure because there's not enough information. So far, we can say there are no clear benefits, even in the eyes of the main proponents, promoters of P3. There was that report not that long time ago from a special committee of the British Parliament. These are the people with the widest experience, and those people were fond of P3, that's for sure. And those people having the best information with the best experience, the first phrase of the first paragraph of the conclusion, there are no clear evidence. So who the hell is able to say it's sure that P3 gonna be something great? Something sure, financing is more expensive. That's something nobody disagrees with. The greatest company, private company in the world will borrow for a higher rate than the smallest Saskatchewan community. That's important, because if you're doing a lot of private financing, you are starting with a gap. But private financing is a fiscal time bomb. It would be like comparing a home you buy or you rent. You buy and you will pay your mortgage on 30 years, and you settle it one for all. And you say the exact amount you will have to pay each month, and it won't change till the end. With a P3, you're paying a rent, which is, obviously, will lose its value among the time because of inflation. So it is inflated, corrected for inflation. And if you look at experience, the rent is climbing to unbelievable levels. The oldest P3 are quite young, and it's a time bomb. It's a poor solution to a non-existent problem. Any city can any city can borrow enough money. There is no problem to borrow enough money. One of my favorite, really, magazine was Public-Private Finance magazine. Their journalists, each day of their life, they are looking at P3s. And what they put on their front page. Why no one knows if P3 makes sense? And because of what? Because of secret. We cannot be sure if it's a good thing, because even those people, they don't know. There are accountants in England. They have been publishing their book with the Scotland Institute, and the title is Financial Black Holes. Financial black holes, accounting black holes, means that you will have no information about the P3, and what is worst, you will have less information from the surrounding, from what is already working. So if you have a P3, you would have less information from other municipal public services, which are already working, but they will tell you, I don't know, we cannot talk about what's going on the pipes, because it would impair the commercial secret for the P3. The problem is a company can just, if things are going fine, everything's go fine. But if things are going bad, if they are losing money, they can pull the plug and walk away. And it has been done. The biggest P3 ever signed in the world was about refurbishing the main part of London Underground. They went on bankruptcy. The companies that were partners, they didn't bankrupt. One of them was Bombardier, the CEO of Bombardier telling his shareholders, well, we shouldn't try because we lose some money, but we still have the contract. And we will make enough money to cover our loss. We're in business to make money, but you know, it was a bad move. So they just pulled the plug. And who got it? Well, of course, the public. The way the companies are seeing time is not the same as the public is seeing time. You know, for the public, there is no end. For a private, the end is when you lose money. That's time to start, shut it. Who will be the private partner? In Hamilton, they happen to sign with a bright, middle-sized, local ground company, environmental company, Philip Environment, as was it called at that time, alongside with the financial partner was what teacher, you know, homegrown, we were talking about Ontario. And they were saying, just help us to make what will become a world-class champion company in water. We will have our headquarters in Hamilton, and everybody will be proud of Hamilton because of us. They had, you know, responsibility for the wastewater. Well, things went bad for the mother company of Philip Utilities, and they had to sell it. They sold it to a bright new American company, which was, you know, flourishing and climbing really, really fast, you know, Azurix. Nobody at that time ever heard about what Azurix was, but it was not a problem because the council, the city council of Hamilton, didn't have a word to say about the selling of the contract to Azurix. Actually, we know what was Azurix. Azurix was a subsidiary of Enron. Okay, you know, Enron went into bankruptcy, and it was sold to American Waters. Well, how about? But 3 months after, American Waters was sold to, was bought by Thames Water. Thames Water, which is operating water in London. Actually, Thames Water was at that time a subsidiary of a giant electrical German company. A few years after, Thames Water was sold to an Australian company. Just imagine a lovely, brilliant Saskatchewan financial company, credit unions, and anything. You say you're the partner of City of Regina. Well, things are going bad or there are other opportunities, they are selling it. The city won't have a word about it. And who will be there? Well, the new Enron, you know, but because there will be a new Enron, that's for sure. What is trendy now is not privatization, it is remunicipalization. There are, basically in the world, water is public. There are 3 worldwide exceptions. Britain and Wales, where it is 100% private. Mrs. Thatcher sold the pipe, period. And the other exception is France, where there are those concession contracts on the longer term. Elsewhere, there's not that much private. The biggest company, water company in the world are French. Paris was shared, half of it to Veolia, half of it to Suez. And those people, they know what privatization is. They are the capital of the, you know, and they decided it would be better for them to go back to public service. This is an integrated network, an interconnected elements. when people are saying we will just give the operation of the wastewater plant to the private, but the whole rest will stay public, it is something incoherent. If you want to manage properly your wastewater plant, you should think uphill how you would deal with the pipes, with the retention bassin, and you must work it as a whole. If you don't, well, you will have problems, that's for sure.